Welcome to the Project Mom Podcast. I'm your host, Emily Gorey, mom of a sweet baby girl and an ever-evolving entrepreneur. On this show, we will explore the intersection of motherhood and entrepreneurship. We will share stories of moms just like you and me with the goal of fostering community and comfort in knowing that we are not alone in our experiences. Please take a moment to subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to ensure you get all the updated episodes and releases. Welcome to today's episode of the Project Mom Podcast. This episode is for moms who are afraid to ask for help. The ones who feel they must do it all, whether because of a belief that was instilled in them or because of their current actual situation, requiring them to step up and stretch themselves thinner than they should, really, for their own health and prioritization. So this episode is talking about how I am not superhuman. I am not a super mom. I do not raise this child alone. Right? I rely heavily on my husband and my partner. Yet at times I am led to believe that I should be able to do this alone, that it is on me to handle the house, the childcare, the in-home burdens and workload. My husband is currently tasked with providing for our family financially, along with some help in the home. Right? He makes breakfast most mornings. He gets our daughter dressed, changes 9 out of 10 diapers when he's home. He helps with the dishes many nights after dinner and will watch Olive at night and do solo bedtime 1 to 2 nights a week so I can get some work done. Because to be honest, right, those are the times that I have to carve out for this work on this podcast that I want to nurture and create. And he's also on chauffeur duty on Fridays when he goes to take my daughter to my mother-in-law's, and honestly will also do the laundry if I ask him to. So to say I rely on him is an understatement. Are there still days that I feel overloaded on the mental load? Absolutely. And to be honest, that is most days. I am in charge of so much, right? There are always so many thoughts floating around my brain. I actually have a ritual that I follow before bed in order to calm my brain and give myself a chance at sleeping well. This was not something that I had always done, but had to adapt to accommodate all of these new thoughts that came into my brain once I became a mom. Now, I'm a planner, and to a fault at times, right? Seth will tell me, just do something, or that he doesn't take the initiative because he knows I like things a certain way and will probably have a million questions he didn't think of when it comes to decisions around our daughter. So I should just do it, right? Whatever that it is. And I will say, I like to be in control, right? It makes me feel safe, makes me feel like I'm participating and providing a productive thing to my family. I fulfill the ask of my husband to just do it because I'm better at it, right? Whatever that it is. There's a part in Patriarchy Stress Disorder by Valerie Rain where she talks about how our thoughts are our prison guards to keep us safe, right? They execute the old instructions that we've received on how to survive in patriarchy by making sure that we don't claim success on our own terms, and that if we do, we don't fully enjoy it. And I highly recommend this book if you haven't picked it up yet. But it's this notion that we must succeed on the terms expected of us in order to be safe in the environment in which we live. What is expected of us by society, our parents, our partners, perhaps. And I see my ego at play here, right? There's generational trauma that I'm holding that's manifesting in my actions, right? The pull to take charge, to prove my worth in this family with measurable, outwardly and productive activity that can be seen and communicated to others, right? I am worth being supported financially because I am doing all of the other heavy lifting. But what if as mothers, we took off some of the pressure, right? What if we recognize that we could already be safe, be solid in our family? that our position is sturdy as the matriarch of our unit, without needing to prove that we belong there, that we are deserving of support, of not needing to contribute in outwardly measured ways all the time. That if we chose to give our bodies a moment of rest, to listen to our bodies, that we are validated and that was the most productive thing that we could do that day. You know, there's all this advice on raising regulated, happy, helpful kids, right? Advice on breaking the cycle. But even if our parents were great and our kids are the sweetest, kindest, happiest humans that we could hope for, the trauma is still there, right? It still exists. It's communal and goes back hundreds of years and is still present, whether we recognize it or not today. We must take a step back and recognize that a lot of what we are facing as women and as mothers is institutionally created. It's in how this world was created, right? For men, by men. And it hasn't always been, right, the intention to exclude women, right? Within the last handful of decades, some strides have been made on female equality. But the spaces we live in are blindly created for men and ultimately makes our lives as women harder by comparison. And if you want to dive more into some examples of that, Invisible Women, there is a book on the data gap for women. And it's a great book to pick up. I'll make sure to link it in my show notes. And ultimately, my goal is to do a recap of it in the coming weeks. But I do highly recommend picking that up. But for now, can we just take a moment to recognize everything that we are navigating consciously or unconsciously through our own personal lens, but also through this communal generational lens? We are doing amazing. We are still showing up every day under the weight of all in which we carry. So this episode is also to share just how proud of me I am this week. I mean, what have I navigated? I urge you to reflect on your own week. What have you navigated? For me, we had a big loud one. My wallet was stolen this week, so I had to take some steps to protect myself and my assets against people who had stolen identifiable information, right? There was also a lot of inner work that needed to be done around safety for myself this week. I navigated supporting my partner and keeping my family fed and clothed. I carved out time for myself to journal and to get in touch with my own thoughts and these infiltrated ego-based beliefs. I tried and stopped ultimately potty training my kid, right? I'm not quite ready to get started on that one, but it's there. It happened. We're battling a head cold and my daughter got her second ear infection of her life this week, which means sleep interruptions. I feel like I've cleaned the house for the millionth time. I'm volunteering with a local chapter of my sorority, and I'm navigating the demands that they have of me as I try to honestly wiggle my way out of the grasps by the end of the semester. Exercise did not happen this week, not even a long walk, and I'm choosing just to love myself through this season anyway. We're having intense separation anxiety. My daughter is crying, sobbing as we leave the room at night, even after many, many books are read and games are played in order to make this an enjoyable experience. Even after I lay on the floor with her and hold her hand and remind her just how much mommy and daddy love her and that we're not far away. I also got sick for the first time in years. You can probably still hear it in my voice, and it wiped me out. It's a head cold, but it was strong enough that I chose to reschedule some podcast interviews in order to give myself some rest. And that was a tough one, right? Our society doesn't support time for rest and healing from illness, right? These are beliefs instilled in us through corporate culture, hustle culture, mom life that we must just power through anyway. And I share this just to let you know that you are not alone. And we're just in it this week, and I am proud of me for navigating it. So mama, no, you are not alone. These weeks will pass. I am here for you. We are in it together. Thanks so much for listening to today's episode. If you liked what you heard, please help us out and leave a review wherever you listen. and consider sharing with your friends. If you're interested in learning a bit more about the project or want to share your story, please visit our website linked in our show notes below.